Nej, Tekemikshing Anishnaabeg. They go Nundagwize Makwa. Tekemikshing Anishnaabeg Donjiba. Makwa Dodem. My name is Darlene Ackerlin. I'm a child and youth worker here at Tekemikshing. My community is Tekemikshing. I live in St. Charles and my clan is the Bear Clan. So I'm just going to have everybody introduce ourselves. And next up, Melissa.
Funny at Tekemikshing. I'm Melissa Ross, child well-being worker for Tekemikshing, and I come from Chigang First Nation.
Ashley.
Hi, Tekemikshing. This is Ashley Buzzle. I'm a child and youth worker here at ATIC.
Wetch. And we have a special guest today. I'm so excited. Mary Fraser, my best friend from our library here at Tekemikshing. Want to say something, Mary?
Ani, manis dego. We kwam kung donji Tekemikshing do da. Na how much da.
Gwetch, Mary. So we're going to start off with a slideshow. We are making our pemmican today. We are assembling all the ingredients, and we're going to be presenting a slideshow so you can see what we've done over the last week in preparation for this. And then right after the presentation, we'll be switching over live on my cook stove over here, assembling all the ingredients. So let's see if I could share my screen. Share. So Tekemikshing Anishnaabeg Education and Social Services Department, and we are doing a Pemmican Workshop today. Bate wias, which is dried meat, I believe. And, oh, can anybody see that to read it off? Because I'm all covered up. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. I can see it now. Sorry about that. So pemmican, well, I had it written down here. Batewias. I know I have this spelling up here. That's something I found on the Ojibwe dictionary online and probably not used here. So also known as pemmican. So today on the Essential Eats, we are making pemmican. What is it? A unique blend of fat and protein. The name comes from the Cree word Pemmican, I think that's how you say it, part of which means fat. So it's a combination of dried wild meat, dried berries, and fat. A nutritious snack packed full of protein for long wilderness journeys. Today we are using moose meat, dried blueberries, cranberries, strawberries, and beef tallow. And I'll go on. These will be repeated again throughout the slides. Oh, I'm going to move this again. So just a little bit of history bite here. Elders of Tekemikshing Anishnaabeg told us that at one time we used to pick wild blueberries, and to preserve them, we would mix the berries into like a berry mush, spread it on birch bark and dry it, much like a fruit roll-up that you buy in the store, but much better of a fruit roll-up. Traditionally, we would have dried our meat on similar racks or in smoke teepees. Today, of course, we are spoiled and we have food dehydrators. So just some pictures showing you what it would have looked like back in the day. Honoring Indigenous ingredients. So today's ingredients are 1 pound of dried meat. We are using moose. 1 cup of dried berries. We have blueberries, minan.
Minan.
Minan. And we have strawberries.
Deminan.
Beminan. And cranberries. Skigaminan.
Yeah, you have that. Skigaminan.
And about a half cup of nuts of choice. I don't know if there's a word for nuts.
Paganesak.
Paganesak.
Yeah, paganesak is nuts. Upta nagans, it's half a cup.
Cool. Anyways, myself, I have sunflower seeds and almonds. Traditional recipes, I saw them use pine nuts and like squash or pumpkin seeds. And I didn't have that, so we're making do with the almonds and sunflower seeds. Tallow, you'll learn about the tallow in this, about 6 tablespoons of tallow, which is a rendered down fat. And that is called bijike mide. Bijike mide.
Yeah.
So, and that's just meaning fat, right?
Yeah, cow fat, beef fat.
Beef fat. So in the following slides, you will see the preparations we have done for today's workshop. Stay tuned as we will be recording after the live slideshow as well and assembling these ingredients live. So far we've done drying our mousse. When preparing this, you have to remove the large pieces of fat and silvery skin. You slice the mousse into 1/4 inch or less pieces. So like 1/4 inch or less slices of mousse. Lightly salted, optional. Placed in a dehydrator at 165 degrees, and this takes approximately 6 hours depending on the thickness of your cuts. Check halfway through. And I forgot to mention on this slide that you should also be switching your trays around, like moving your bottom trays to the top. And you might have to do that a couple times so they dry evenly. You can also dry meat in your oven at its lowest temperature, about 170 degrees for the same amount of time. And then if you're really lucky, you'll have a smoker, a barbecue smoker. You can also do it that way. So it's the pictures of what I've done so far using the dehydrator and the final product.
Washabasat moso. How to dry the mousse. Meat.
Mashabasik mozo.
Washabasat moso. How to dry the meat.
So, and next we have the rendering of the beef tallow. Bijike mide. Bijike mide.
Washam nasman. Washazigamisman. How to get the fat out of the beef, whatever. Is it in a bone or something? Or is it just a...
No, it's just the fat from around like the kidneys and that of the beef.
Oh, okay. Washazigamisat. That's rendering of the cow tallow. Washazigamisat. Zigamisat. It's getting the fat out of making it into a liquid. That's what that means. Zigamisa. Yeah, zigamisa. That's what. Yeah, zigamisa.
All right. So
that's
tallow.
What you're doing.
Cool. Thanks, Mary. Tallow can be purchased at your local butcher. Remove all the meat, dried and blemished parts. You want all white tallow. Cut into small pieces. You're going to notice in your tallow, there's kind of like, if you try and pull it apart, there's like skin type things. You can remove the big pieces. Some say you need to remove it. A lot say you don't have to, because you're going to be taking all of these extra out, because all you're keeping is the liquid. So it will be strained before you use it. Cut into small pieces, place in a crock pot if you choose. That's what I use. Use a low heat. You don't want to scorch your tallow. Set for 6 hours on low, stir halfway through. Remove the crackle, which that's what the leftover bits that you're going to scoop out of the liquid. Allow to cool a little bit and then strain into jars or molds, cool, and place lid on jars. If properly stored, this will last a long time. I researched a little bit. You can use this also in just everyday cooking, frying, deep frying. And they also use this tallow for, it could be used for making candles and soaps as well. And I had lots, so I might be attempting that. Okay, so traditionally, the use of a mortar and pestle type equipment would have been used to render down dried meat. During Culture Days 2021, so last August, we used this method to make corn flour as seen in photo 2. So that's the type of thing that would have been used to render down your meat and make it like, not quite powder, but close.
That's what you would, how you would say that. You're grinding whatever that is in there.
Okay. Well, that's what you would be doing to that. So my next slide. So our next step was the final ingredients, prep work. You can use a food processor, but I used a coffee grinder because my food processor broke. And I have to admit, I really liked what the coffee grinder did. It did a really good job. I use it to render the dried meat. I used it, the dried meat. I use it to render the dried meat. Bate wias.
That's what you're doing. You're shredding it. You're grinding it. Shugabodon.
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 The same for the Minan, blueberries. The same for the Skigamanan, cranberries. And the same for Desminon, strawberries. And then for the nuts, and I won't remember what the nuts one was.
Paganak.
So that's what we did. There's pictures there, what they look like. And so now that we have all of our ingredients ready for making our pemmican, there's got to be more to a word than that. Bate wias. We are ready to go to our live video and putting all these together. If you wish to receive the recipe and or this slideshow presentation, please contact me, Darlene, childyouth.education1@WLFN.com. So, let's go.
How?
Now I am going to Spotlight. No, I'm still on Spotlight. Okay, so that everybody's seen that all right, right? Okay.
That was from the heart. You knew all the words. You could say all the words.
Well, I was struggling there. It's a good thing I wrote them down. So I am just kind of moving over here and get set up at my kitchen here. And I'm just going to be right back. I'm just going to wash my hands up. So right right now. I'm just going to show you. I'll put this here. So this, I'll put my light on. So I don't know if that helps, but this is the, I need my book here. Okay, now I got it. So this is our mousse batehuias. So I've already pre-done this, like I said, through my coffee grinder. It works out really well. But I am going to show you, I kept a little wee bit. So we're talking about the mortar and pestle. You probably can't see that too good, but I did do a little bit just for, this is what would have been done to prepare the meat back in the day. And I'll just put it out. And this is what it looks like. So it probably could be rendered down a little bit more, and I will do that. I will finish it off in my coffee grinder. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna dump it in there. It's pretty close. So yeah, what was this called, Mary?
You're grinding it. You're making small pieces with it.
There you go.
Tautaujiga.
No, taujiga.
That was our grinder way back when.
Way back when. So yeah.
Tautaujiga.
So there we go. I'm just gonna dump it in. There might be a little chunks, but that's okay. So I am going to show you, I'm only going to do this. This is my little coffee grinder. And I'm only going to do a little bit of blueberries just to show you how that it actually works. Now you won't see me actually because I'm going to go plug it in over there so it's not so loud. So the coffee grinder looks like that. I added some of my berries. So you'll see, I don't know if you can see that pretty good. That's what it looks like. Put my lid on and you'll hear me over there and I'll be right back to show you.
That's grinding. Shagjiboge.
So I'm only going to do that one, but yeah, so if you can see, might be hard to see, but so that's the only one I'm gonna do.
You grinded them. Shagajiboge.
Shagajibode.
Grinded them. You shred them.
Shred them. So this is what the berries look like. I wish I had a better light, but anyways, that's what the berries look like. But like I said, I don't know, traditionally, maybe with the birch bark method, it maybe, I don't know if they run it through that wood pestle idea or what, but anyways, that's the blueberries. I'm not going to do any more crushing. These are my cranberries, also run through the coffee grinder.
Shigamanan.
I'm forgetting to do that. Shigamanan. These are the strawberries I purchased. And Deminan. So we didn't use these ones. Some of you did. I know some cut them small so that you could put it in there. This did not work in the coffee grinder or my processor. But I did have some dried strawberries and blueberries that I dried last summer. So the ones I did in the dehydrator last year looks like this after being in the coffee grinder. De Minan. Minan. I'm forgetting. Skigaminan?
Skigaminan. Yep, you got it.
This is the nuts that I put through the processor. Paganan. This is the tallow that's hardened, what it looks like hardened. But I have some here that's warmed up now and liquefied, so I'll be using about 6 tablespoons of that. So there we have all our ingredients. And we are just going to add everything in here. Got my big bowl. Mousse. Covering up my paper again. Mousse. Bate So there. That looks like. And I am going to de Minan. Strawberries.
Yeah.
Minan. Blueberries. Gigaminan. Cranberries. And my, so mine there, I just ground them right down. So these are the nuts. I forget again.
Paganak.
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 So I am a hand person, and you're just going to get in there and you're going to mix this all up.
Gaganikanan. Nikanon.
Nikanon?
To mix it.
Mix it.
Gaganikanon.
None. So if you have some of your blueberries might be like a little moist and in chunks, so you just break it up. And you just want to make sure it's good and mixed. And I think for my batch, this is going to be more than, this is more than what the recipe calls for. So I might have to add a little bit more. Tallow. I got my paper handy. It's all good. How's everybody doing? Ashley, Melissa? Thumbs up. Okay. So there, that is the mixture of the mousse patewias. Skigiwanan, cranberries, minan, and deminan. So our dried meat, dried mousse, our cranberries, our blueberries, and our strawberries. And I also put the nuts in there. Forgot about that one. So once it's mixed really well, I'm just taking, if I see a big piece of the mousse jerky, I just take it out. But I'm sure it would be fine. So our liquefied, we are going to take our liquefied tallow. And I'm going to start with 6 tablespoons. But I think I'll be needing a little bit more. I'm going to put in one more right now. And then we'll go from there and see how that works. So now we're going to mix again. You're going to want it so that you're going to be able to make like little cakes out of it, or little balls, or make a whole, pat it down into like a whole one that you can cut up after. So there's no real science. Like I said, my research, some people only use a cup and want more mousse, and I've seen them do all equal parts of mousse, berries, and nuts. How we doing, Mary? You got 5 minutes. So obviously I need quite a bit more. Try that. And it doesn't quite hold a ball yet. So we'll be adding some more. It should be able to hold a ball. What would you say? Something like that? Like to hold the form.
Oh, to hold the form.
Yeah. Or you should be able to make like little cakes out of it. Something like that. Now I'm probably not going to get too fussy about how much I put in, because I know it's going to take a lot. Before I'm done, I might use this whole jar with this batch. So in case you have to leave, Mary, what we're going to be doing, myself,
Wimjik thing. That's to hold the form. Wimjik thing.
Wimjik sing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's getting there. It's getting closer, not quite. You can, I thought of using little muffin tins. You know, you could buy the little miniature muffin tins, or you could just roll this in balls. And I was thinking you could buy these, what is it, that plastic? It's not plastic, but you know, the plastic kind of things you can use in the oven now. They have one to make like your own Nutri-Bars or whatever, right? For me, I'm going to be putting it on that pan after and just make one big slab and then cut it up. More yet. Now I'm getting brave. I'm just going to pour. How do you say pour?
Gasiganon.
Gasiganon?
Yeah.
So I am adding some more. Jikimide.
Gasiganon. Nibina. Lots.
Lots. And I think we are close, but not quite. Smells good. How do you say that? It smells good.
Namagut.
Namagut.
Namagut. Namagut.
Namagut. So this is very close. A little bit more. And we will be done. What is pour again?
Gasiganon. Siganon. It's the pour. Siganon. Gamamagdanon. That's what you're doing. You're it's like when you knead bread, you're kneading.
Okay. Yeah.
Gamamagdanon.
But here we go. I think we're pretty close. So that holds a good, almost went on the floor. So there we go. I'm gonna add just a little bit more just to make sure it's all completely like that, because on the bottom I can see that it's a little bit dry. And then I'll be pressing it onto that pan. Yeah, I just want to be sure, because you want to make sure that it stays together so that we can cut it up after.
Gasiganon. You're pouring it. Gasiganon mide.
Masiganon.
Mide.
Mide. And then, so that tallow, that once it cools off, it cools off harder than a lard. It's almost not like a bar of soap, but it's more solid than a lard. It's not as soft. Yeah. One more time, one more little bit, and then I'm winging it. So I'm going to use the whole thing, whatever I got left. It holds the form really good. So I'm going to get my pan. And Tucker's eating the crumbs that are flying all over. And I am hoping that we can do maybe I don't know, is there a word for that? A taste testing day in March. You see, I think it's holding together pretty good. And which is why I just want to form it into a pan, and then I can cut out bite-sized pieces to have a taste test day.
Bagadenagan giton. I put it in a square pan. Bagade nagan.
Bagade.
Nagan.
Nagan.
Nagan. Yeah, square pan. Giton. I put it in a square pan.
Bakade. Bakade. Nagin.
Ah, giton.
Good. It's taken a little bit more than an hour just to mix it up. So I know I had a little bit more than a pound of mousse, and I know I had, you know, a lot more berries, but I said there's no exact science as long as you got all the ingredients all together. I think this is the worst part, just trying to pat it in here. So I think that's about as much as I am going to do. But I am not going to wait for it to be set. So you're going to let this cool. And then you can cut it up, or it's a good protein bars to go in the bush.
Wheat keystone.
What is it?
Wheat keystone. Keystone.
Stone?
To let it cool off.
Let it cool off. It just
then you'll cut it up. Yeah.
Cut it.
That's to cut it up.
So.
How? Mama Pisumino.
Hey, Gwetch, Mary.
The how?
Mama P. Alrighty. So, how's everything, Ashley and Melissa?
Everything's going good.
What?
I'm forming mine into like 2-bite size balls.
Yeah.
It's turning out.
Well, I wanted to put mine in a pan in case we get to do our taste testing day. With hot chocolate on the side, or tea, or whatever plans. And myself, I'm taking a spoon, and I'm just taking a little bit, and I'm trying it right now because I can't wait. I think that's pretty darn good. So I'm just gonna wash my my hands up. So this I'm going to be throwing in the fridge to set. And pemmican will last a long time if it's prepared right and stored right.
Set in the fridge, Darlene.
Hey?
How long do you think it'll take to set in the fridge?
Oh, that's not going to take long.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I would say like an hour, leave it in there to be safe.
Okay.
And then cut it up and store it or package it, whatever you like. Once this is set, I'll be pre-cutting it up and putting it in like a Tupperware container and save it for when we can do taste testing day. And I'll be storing it in the freezer until then. So I'm gonna wash my hands. I'll be right back. I think that tallow would be really good for dry hands too.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to unspotlight. Well, I'll show my pan first. So there we have my version of pemmican. I don't know if you can see it much better. So again, recipe is in the video. And if you want the recipe and or the slide point, PowerPoint, just shoot me an email, Darlene, Child Youth Work. That's an old one. childyouth.education1@wlfn.com, and I'll get that to you. So that is and all we have is dried moose meat, dried blueberries, dried cranberries, dried strawberries, some nuts, and rendered tallow. And that's what's going to keep it all together. So yeah, now I'll just unspotlight myself.
Sorry, babes.
How do I do that? Here, move spotlight. And if I'm going to move here, because my part is done. And Ashley, you got something to share? How'd you make out?
Pretty good.
Ooh, look at you go. Love it.
Put that in the fridge.
Yeah. So you managed to get it all formed and everything? Good?
Yep.
Awesome.
I with a spoon, but I think it's better to do it with your hands because you really have to knead it and get it to stick together.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what helped in the pan too. Like I did a lot of pressing it in, but
yeah, you really got to work it.
Yeah. And Melissa, where's that?
Mine's in the fridge.
Oh, you already put it in the fridge. I wanted you to share.
Yeah, I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out.
Okay.
I did start making balls, but then I liked the idea that you had with cutting it into strips.
Yeah. Much easier.
So they still got some damp spots and stuff, but that's what the cooling's for.
Awesome. Looks good.
Yeah.
So did you taste it, anybody?
No.
No? I did. You're not going to on live on video? Chicken? Oh, you can't. Okay. Is Melissa trying it?
Yeah.
Is that
good.
A thumbs up?
Yeah, that's 2 thumbs up.
Is it going to be a to-do recipe from here on in?
If I could find people to help me eat it, yeah.
I hear you. So
Some
Ashley,
people are trying to find me something.
Yeah. Ashley, you're passing on trying it?
Yeah, I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
Wait till
okay.
Yeah, just think of hunters and people that could use this.
Exactly.
I think one thing to mind though is when you do like package it and you're carrying it, it needs to be somewhere cool. Like don't put it in your pocket because it will kind of go mushy.
Go like a chocolate bar. Oh, any other comments? Everything's good. Any recommendations from the two of you?
I would love to see it this year for cultural days.
Oh, there you go.
Try to get as many. See if anybody's up for trying it, and they can help guide the way.
Right on. Hey, make that in your notes. Share it up.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else? Do's or don'ts? Did you have trouble with anything?
I don't know. I destroyed 2 machines, so be careful. Even though I didn't overload it, For the strawberries, I ended up using a butcher knife and just cut them up that way. But the blueberries were nice and like easy to work with. The cranberries are a little bit chunkier, so I stuck those in with the strawberries. But I don't know. I followed the instructions. It went very well. Did the crock pot for the tallow. Yep. It cleaned up good. If you don't have a little strainer, use your cheesecloth. Perfect. It was great. I had no issues, and my little puppy gives smell approval.
As Tucker is walking around the edge of my cupboard right now.
Yeah.
Ashley, any recommendations?
Don't get discouraged. Trust your gut instinct. And yes, when it comes, I had the same issue as Melissa when it comes to blending and stuff like that. So I tried to blend my blueberries and it didn't work in my food processor. So I just left them as is. And honestly, you can't really tell a difference. So mine will have like a little bit more chunks of fruit in it. And watch the fruit when it gets gummy. That's becomes an issue. So you did it same as Melissa, chopped it up.
and with that, on my recommendation, if you're thinking about making pemmican, come June or July, whenever the strawberries come available, say at Leisure Farms or whatever, go and get some and throw them in the dehydrator, just like you did your beef and
blueberries.
And the blueberries too. If it takes a lot of blueberries to dry that little bit.
Yeah.
You would need probably a couple baskets. But anyways, yeah, that's what I recommend. Drying your own strawberries. Like it's the same thing. You slice them thinly, put them in the dryer and dehydrator. And they worked really well when I put them in the coffee grinder. So note for next year, I know you like to taste all the strawberries and then the strawberry pies, but keep a little bit for the dehydrator for tea or whatever. Works awesome. So I'm just going to say it one last time. So I didn't put it in the fridge yet. Maybe that's a better light. So this is what it looks like. I already tasted it. Really delicious. And did y'all want to share one last time, or is that already away?
I just wanted to say, Miigwech, for letting me join in. This is a really neat experience. I love trying new things. And
thank you for joining us. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to work as a team.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All righty. So if that's it, we're all good. Miigwech everybody for watching, and don't forget, if you want the address, the email, my God, I'm all messed up.
One more thing, sorry. Can people sign up for a taste test?
Well, I was kind of thinking of just having like a day where we were out at the complex outside and offer hot chocolate and tasting.
Perfect.
Let's just make a date.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Send me an email if you want the recipe or the PowerPoint presentation. Darlene at childyouth.education1@WLFN.com. So, Bama P, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Bama P.